Again, they've asked me always, "But why are you here? Why you don't belong here?" And I'm like, there's always something to learn. There's always a different way to write a song. There are infinite ways to write a song. I always just come with that idea is there's something I can take from this, whether it's meeting new people, making contacts, and if it's not songwriting itself, there's so much around it that's just so rich. That's why I just go for it. Every songwriting course that I can take, I will go for it, even if it's basic. You never know, cause like there may be teachers, but then you could actually learn from your student. I'm a teacher myself, but actually as a teacher, I also learn a lot from my students. So it goes both ways. Always remain curious. That's really important.
Welcome to Music and Mission, where we explore identity, vocation, and mission through music and conversation. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 15. It's already been 15 episodes, and I'm really excited to talk to my guest today. Back to our Pope John Paul II's letter to artists, and we keep revisiting this every single week. There's one line that I think really highlights today. Those who perceive in themselves this kind of divine spark, which is the artistic vocation, it's a poet, writer, sculptor, architect, musician, actor, and so on, feel at the same time the obligation not to waste this talent, but to develop it in order to put it at the service of their neighbor and of humanity as a whole. And I think that my guest today is somebody who has perceived that divine spark, that desire to be an artist and to express her life and her faith in the way of music, and so chose to not waste that talent, to develop it by actually going to school for music, and is now really traveling and sharing her music in many different ways. So I'm really excited to understand how she came to choose this sort of path in life and how she uses it for the Lord. So I'm excited to interview our guest. Let's welcome to Music and Mission, playing an original song entitled Cozy, Clarene Romea.
Freshly brewed coffee by the candlelight. When it's all frosty, I'll stay in tonight. Have a meal with friends, play a game or two as the music ends till the day is through. When it's dark, cold outside, it's okay, 'cause we're inside, chilling by the fireplace. Let's just do it like the Danes, appreciate the little things. Isn't this a warm embrace? Oh, it's such a perk when you live with less. Buy some Danish sweets from a bakery in the city streets with your family. When it's dark and cold outside, it's okay, 'cause we're inside, chilling by the fireplace. Let's just do it like the Danes, appreciate the little things. Isn't this a warm embrace? Otherwise if we'd all could love a little more. I wonder why they are the happiest on earth. I wonder if we'd all could love a little. It's so hyggelig. It's so hyggelig. Wonder why they are the happiest on earth. I wonder if we'd all could love a little more.
Awesome. Thanks, Clarene, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You are in where are you? Which country?
So I'm in Switzerland at the moment, in Geneva, where I was
Oh,
born
man.
and raised. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so
And
we
you
are
are
now
in the
worldwide.
States. Where
Yes,
in the
in
States
the
are you?
U.S., in Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia.
All right. I've never been there. But I've
Yeah,
been to
if you
the
can.
New York and California side, but never
Oh,
around
awesome.
that area.
Yeah, I'm about 2 hours from New York.
All right, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw on your profile that you went to school for music. How did you choose music? At least in the States, that's a unique thing. It's rare for people to pursue music in school.
I think definitely here as well. So how did I come about music? Going into studying music? At first, I didn't really know what I wanted to do for university. I know I really enjoyed languages, but also really had this passion for music. But I just didn't really know if it was just more of a hobby or if it's something that I really want to pursue. Eventually, I started writing my own songs, and yeah, actually, one of the songs I'll be playing later is actually my very ever first song that I wrote, which was a worship song. So we will actually be ending with that song late at the end of this interview. Um, but yeah, it's always been something I love doing, and when I quite spontaneously joined this improv competition. So it was basically so you do improv in music. So you come on stage and you have nothing prepared, and you just play whatever comes. And I had a competition for that, and yeah, every time I looked at different courses and everything, like I always was attracted to music, and I always wanted to study that. And so eventually, when with more affirmation, I decided that okay, this maybe not just maybe this isn't just something that I enjoy doing, but something that I could also be learn from it and get better at. So I thought there's some potential here, and I'd like to discover how far it could reach. And yeah, I'm happy that I was able to study music. I didn't just study music. Actually, I was there. You say music is quite special on its own, but I actually did a combined honors. So I was able to study German and music at the same time in the
Oh,
UK.
cool.
So that's that.
Wow, that's awesome. What was your biggest takeaway from learning music like formally? Was there a lesson you learned in really having an education in music?
What was my? I think it's mainly just grabbing every opportunity that comes, because you never know. I mean, which opportunity could bring to lead to another one, and so it's definitely just being driven and always just grabbing the things that come to you, because you never know if they would come back or not. So But then again, I'm like a yes, yes, yes person. But then I tend to do too much. Then so another the other side of it is also learning how to look after yourself and listen to your body and yeah, not do too much either. Grabbing those opportunities, not being afraid even to make mistakes, and or just just go for it. You never know where it could lead to, where it could take you. But then also look after yourself. That's what my takeaway.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, definitely. Especially in college, learning to rest is important too.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah, that's awesome. So even before college, you already said you were really interested in and had a love for music developing already. When did that start? What was your first instrument? How did you first start getting interested in music?
I actually started playing quite late. I had cousins who played the piano very well by ear, and I was always just so amazed, or like aunts, and I was just always so amazed. I would just watch them and like, oh wow, they can play with two hands. I wanted to be able to do that one day. I was just staring and just be so amazed, and then even more so, being able to play by ear. I'm like, wow, how can you do that? I'd love to be able to do that one day. That interest was always there, but I've never been formally trained until I think my first formal piano lesson was at the age of 14. So I'm mainly a pianist first, and then eventually I picked up the guitar a few years later. But yeah, that's how it started. Rather late. I've always been amazed by it, but to actually play music, it was because a friend in middle school invited me to join the school orchestra. And I was like,
Oh,
I
really?
don't really play that much piano. I don't really know much. I said, no, no, it's fine. Just come, and it's open to everyone, and just come and see. And thanks to that, I'm so into music today. So I'm very thankful for that friend who just invited me, and I just went for it.
Wow, yeah, just a simple invite from a friend.
Definitely.
How about singing? So you had piano, guitar. When did you start
That's true.
singing?
It's funny because when before I left for university, I never really considered myself as a singer.
Hmm.
I've always been the quiet type, so it's like, why would she? I mean, she doesn't even speak. What more sing? So, I, piano. I was always the one playing the piano for like youth choirs. Um, Sometimes guitar if there weren't any piano. But it's the last song that I'll be playing is my first song that I ever wrote by myself, and obviously then it's a song I wrote, and so I had to sing it myself. So I kind of had to be forced to sing it somehow because the idea was, okay, I'm gonna sing, but this is just a recording so that eventually the singer who would sing this song, who I would be giving it to, would know how it sounds like and just do their own version. So that was more of the idea. And so when I went to the UK, that I met friends there, and then they said, okay, you're Filipina and you're studying music. There's no way you can say that you don't sing. So I'm like, okay, fine. I have this song that I wrote, but yeah, And then since then they're like, oh no, you should really sing. You should really definitely do that. And ever since, I've just joined different clubs and societies at university. Actually founded the Filipino Society at our university because it didn't exist prior to when I arrived. So because of that, we did a lot of fundraising events, open mics, and we also were invited to other sister companies like Malaysian societies, Indonesian societies. So yeah, it was a very collaborative feel. Like we help each other in at our events, and yeah, that's where I got more into music. I'm more into singing because I'd never really sung in public prior to that. So it's just starting university when I went to UK. When you're like, okay, nobody knows me anyway, so I guess let's just give it a try. And yeah, okay. And then it just continued there, and then I just got more and more invites, and I got more into it. I got more into songwriting as well, because that's also one of the modules that I had for uni eventually, songwriting and composition. And yeah, eventually I just enjoyed also being the singer of my songs. And yeah, since then I've never really asked any other people to sing my song. So that's how it started, with singing when I was in the UK. Never before then. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy to hear, especially just hearing your first song, and I would never have guessed the journey of confidence that had to happen before you got here. Yeah. So cool. But yeah, we'll keep talking more about your journey. But for now, what's the second song you have?
The second song is called Home. It's one of my worship songs that I wrote during my stay in the UK. And home, because I've often been asked, where is home for you? Because I have this weird or this more interesting situation where I was born and raised here in Geneva, yet I have Filipino parents. I went to the UK and then to study music and German, and then that meant I spent a year as well in Germany, and then I also spent a year in the Philippines doing a lot of music. So I've been everywhere, and so often people one of the questions that I get is where's home for you? Where do you belong? Hard question, a really hard question, because like, am I from Switzerland, and where do I say I'm from? I'm from the Philippines. Am I from So then eventually my answer has been, home is where God is. And thankfully God has been with me everywhere I've gone so far. And if I do get lost, then he calls me back home, back to him. So this is home.
Awesome. Take it away.
Your voice has calmed the sea. Your love, it rescues me. Your life, you chose to give. By grace, now I can live. Your light, it gives me hope. yours, I am yours, no one else could ever need. I am yours, I am yours. I am yours, I am yours, no one else I'll ever need. I am yours, I am yours. You are the one who calls me home. You are the one who holds my heart. Every part of me is yours. I surrender all my life. Your joy is what I'm longing for. You are the one who calls me home. You are the one who holds my heart. Every part of me is yours. I surrender all my life. Your joy is what I'm longing for.
Beautiful. Thanks, Clarene.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really love that question of where is home. If you were to settle down somewhere, where would you choose to settle down?
Actually, you guys asked this question yesterday twice. It's funny you asked this today again. Honestly, for me, my answer is it doesn't matter where, but what is important to me is with who.
Oh, nice one.
As long as it's the right person,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter to me where.
It's a good answer. Yeah. Especially, yeah, I love that. With who and like your song says, but for now, just wherever God is, that's home for now. Yeah. Beautiful. So yeah, songwriting, you mentioned even before going to college, there was some kind of improvisation group or activity, and that sort of got you started with songwriting. When did
Definitely,
you,
yes.
yeah, when did you start to express your ideas into songs?
So, yeah, definitely improvisation was a big part, or still is a big part of my songwriting, because it's just definitely just take the guitar and just stream a few, like do a few chords, strum, and then eventually something comes out, something or not. But the idea of songwriting first came because there's a sister from the community as well who wrote a song, a worship song, and she posted it on YouTube. And then I was really amazed. I was like, wow, like this is the first person I know in person, like someone I know who wrote a song. And to me, songwriting was always something only like it was far away and something I wouldn't ever even think of doing or being able to do so. But then when my friend published that YouTube video, I'm like, hey, maybe I could give that a go. Maybe, that could be cool. And eventually it continued with songwriting competitions within the European conferences with the Youth for Christ. Yeah. And started from there. It was mainly writing with other people. I was mainly just doing the piano bit, and then someone else looked after the lyrics, or it was just it started from there. Songwriting competitions at Euro conferences, and eventually when I decided for my high school projects, there's this like high school final year project. You could choose to do whatever you wanted, and I actually wrote worship songs. So yeah, the last one I'll be singing was part of that high school project songs. This was actually my first ever song that I wrote alone. That was the first song I wrote alone. Everything, the other two ones were collabs because I was never confident enough to just do something on my own. I was like, okay, maybe I should give myself the challenge to write for once a song on my own, and that was that. That was that. It started with that school project, and it's funny because deadlines are what help me a lot when it comes to writing songs. So um, actually, the one I just sang was also for this time that was for a university project, so I had a deadline for
Oh,
that. So was the first one actually, Cozy, and so is actually the next one. So it's very school based deadlines, which help me. Because I don't know, I tend to be someone who's very perfectionist, and I tend to really want it to be, I always want it to be very good, or I'm never happy with what I have, and so I never consider something finished. So I'm rarely satisfied with what I do, and I'm very hard on myself, with myself, and I try to let go of that side and just write more, just write and write, because that's not gonna help in songwriting, in the creative process, if you're just telling to yourself that this is not good.
that's awesome. Yeah, I relate to that so much. I think I've learned that anything creative, without unless you're a very unique person, I think without a deadline, there's always that sense of like, it's not done, it's not perfect, it's there's still something missing, and so to have a deadline, at least to say, okay, this is good enough for now. And I like in songwriting that, like you said, even some of the songs that might be done, you can still consider unfinished, and still continue to shape it and mold it a little bit and make little changes. But the deadline lets you at least have peace of mind that, like, okay, at least it's done for now and I can always revisit it.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I relate to that a lot. Um, so yeah, you were saying you went from going from collaborating to being able to really write on your own, and even now post college, you are consider yourself a singer songwriter, and so I guess
I
how has
guess.
your songwriting process changed? From that first song back in high school to how you write now.
Wow. Really good question. I've never had that asked to me. Like, how was my songwriting process different from how it was to how it is today? Well, first of all, I was just telling myself that there's no right or wrong way to write a song. People always ask me, how do you write a song? Do you start with lyrics? Do you start with melody? Do you start with chords? I mean, start wherever you want. Do you do it one at a time, or do you do it together? I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes it comes just words. Sometimes just chords, just a rhythm even, or sometimes it just all comes all together. And that I'm lucky if that does happen. Um, yeah. I think with having the module that I've done at uni, I think there's just more theory first. Just getting outside of the normal chord pattern that just repeats, or even like songs with just two chords. I don't have a song that's just two chords. I've always pushed myself to change chords harmonically, and yeah, I think first more theory, more technique, more contrasts. I did join a songwriting camp here in Switzerland for a week back in August. That was really nice because I did a lot of music in the Philippines prior to that, and I never really was familiar with the music scene here in Switzerland, which I thought was almost non-existing. It was really hard. It's actually really hard here as an artist here in Geneva, particularly. Um, I forgot what I was going to. Um, I lost my the train of thought. So, oh yeah, so songwriting. Um, that songwriting camp was actually a female songwriting camp, so it was really empowering people, the women in the music scene, to just write more and to be more present, because apparently it's just more dominantly, like there are a lot of guys in the music industry here in Switzerland. I didn't really feel that way when I was in the Philippines, but okay. And yeah, it's all about more empowerment, and you can do it. Just do it. And the creative process is, there's like a mug, and it's like, I forget exactly the steps, but there's a part that's like you talk bad about yourself or what you've created, but it's part of the process, and then eventually you pick it up again, and then that's really nice, because I got to meet other like-minded people, and who just be in that community, and also meet artists, Swiss artists, because we had coaches that would come. So we had two main coaches who that followed us for the whole week, but then we had visiting coaches too, which were Swiss artists, and yeah, we were giving inputs on songwriting and how they write, and how tips that would help us continue writing more, or more differently, or just yeah, that was that. And then I also did a songwriting course with Sir Jim Paredes of Apo Hiking Society. I don't know if you've. So he had this online course that I followed for a whole month, every weekend, Saturday, Sundays of September. It was quite intense, actually. Quite, yeah, it was very. Obviously, you don't want to disappoint your teacher, especially if it's someone that's really well respected in the songwriting, especially in the Philippines. Actually, my first encounter with Sir Jim Paredes was because I went to a Live Loud songwriting workshop as well, and he was one of the speakers. So that's my first encounter with him. And then eventually I joined his online songwriting course, which was actually quite demanding in terms of, like, if I didn't do a music course, like even my I told him that even my songwriting course that I had at uni for bachelor's was easier than what he was asking of us. 'Cause every week we had homework to write the song, like, so we would have Saturday and then Sunday another day. So sometimes we had one whole song to write for the following day. So I'm like, okay, this is what I asked for. I need deadlines. I need people to wait on me. And so yeah, I was able to write through that with more techniques, again, going further into that. And I think for me, it's more of just letting go and just not being afraid to write something bad. Actually, it's a good exercise. Push yourself to write something bad so that it's actually out of the way, and then you're like, okay, I've done that, and then I don't know, you don't think about it, something might just come out, and you're like, oh, okay, this is quite nice. So, and then you have your friends listen to it, and you ask if they think it's good, and if you should keep it up, or if you should record it or what. And yeah, that's how. I don't know. I think songwriting is ever so evolving, and it evolves with me as a person, and it doesn't just stay the same. I can write in one way one day, and tomorrow I might not write the same way, and then I might go back to how it was yesterday. But then just I just wish I spent more time in just sitting and just writing, just feeling, and just being in the moment, and just let out what is actually already within.
Wow. Thank you. I think you put into words a lot of things that I maybe know, but I think you made it very concrete. I like you were saying, from then until now, it is from going to school, you've learned a lot more tools that just naturally incorporated themselves, techniques that you picked up by studying music or by practicing more. And so like the importance of practicing music, I think like in the analogy of a painter, it's like learning more colors or more paintbrushes. And so, like you
Definitely.
were saying, now that I know all that can be done with music, I can't just settle for two chords. Like it's not enough. I need to make sure that there's more expressed. And I love how what you ended with just being in the moment, like songwriting, really ultimately just being who am I today and how am I feeling today, and not that it necessarily has to be shared. It can be something bad, like you said. I love how much you emphasize that. But yeah, just being willing and open to share whatever you have today. And so thank you, yeah, for sharing that testimony. I think what's really key, and I think what I am going to try to use too in my own journey, is like you have consistently looked for more and more places to learn, people who can coach you, people who can mentor you. And so I think that's a key part for me, is never thinking that we have enough already, as far as like, okay, I already know how to write a song, I've written a song before, and now I just have to wait till inspiration strikes again. And I think your story is very clear, like you're always looking for more advice and more help and more people who can teach you and more things that you can learn. And that's the just as you grow, your songwriting grows too. I think that's a really important lesson that I've taken from your story.
Yeah, definitely. Cause so like when I would join the songwriting camp in Switzerland, and they hear of my background of, oh, I've done music in the UK and I did songwriting, and people are like, okay, why are you here? What do you need
Yeah.
from me? And then every coach, because we would have like one-on-one sessions with the coaches, so we have time to just songwrite on our own, and then we have individual coaching with the coaches. And then so I would come and they'd be like, okay, so how can I help you? And going back to your different colors as a painter, actually I also had a very similar analogy, which was there's this coach. She was mainly a guitarist because I'm mainly a pianist, so I, I've mainly been just stuck with full strum guitar, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I've asked her to to teach me. It was more of like a guitar lesson, like how could I make my songs sound differently, or like using more of the bass sound, or like just different ways, different shapes, chord shapes. And then at the end of our coaching session, she was like, oh, but we actually didn't do any songwriting. Was that okay? I was like, oh no, it was super helpful, you know? Because, okay, at that point I was like, I know how to build a song. But actually what I came to her knowing what I needed, which was not how to build a house, but actually new types of bricks to build that house. And so those were my bricks, new forms on the guitar, and which I've eventually used for my songs that I haven't released yet. So yeah, more like fancy stuff on the guitar. Well, actually not. Actually, I believe in the less is more as well. So there are a lot of things where she would be like, yeah, just play your two lower notes, and that's it. I'm like, oh, okay, just to make the contrast. So that's that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. Just coming to somebody and, I think I already know what you could teach me, but there's something that I can learn from you. And I think just coming to people and knowing that there's something they can teach you. That's been my whole journey with music and mission, and just learning from people and their different perspectives on songwriting. And it's always, wow, I never thought of it that way, or, oh, I didn't know that that's how you approach songwriting, and it's different from me, but I could benefit from trying it your way a little bit. So
There's
yeah.
always so many. Even if like, okay, I go into the songwriting course for Sir Jim Paredes, and again they've asked me always, why are you here? Why you don't belong here? And I'm like, there's always something to learn. There's always a different way to write a song. There are infinite ways to write a song, and there's always, I always just come with that idea, is there's something I can take from this, whether it's meeting new people, making contacts. And if it's not songwriting itself, there's so much around it that's just so rich. That's why I just go for it. Every songwriting course that I can take, I will go for it, even if it's basic. You never know, because like there may be teachers, but then you could actually learn from your student. I'm a teacher myself, but actually as a teacher, I also learn a lot from my students. So it goes both ways, and always remain curious. That's really important. Because
Remain curious.
yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. Thanks, Clarene. Well, before we we could definitely keep talking about this forever. But what is your next song?
My next song is called Dear Jesha. Jesha is actually someone from the community. She was a YFC Ireland, and someone I've actually never met in person. But when I was in the UK, or generally, I've always enjoyed traveling. Again, this curious side, just seeing something that's different than who I am, something that's different from where I'm from physically, or from my my ethnicity. Just always seeking to learn new things, to seek new places, new heights. And so I went to Ireland, and I was in touch with the community there, and they all had this like profile picture of some drawing of a girl with a guitar, and I thought it was some famous singer who, I don't know, were paying tribute to. But then I eventually found out it was someone who's was a YFC, but unfortunately passed away at a very young age. And she was a singer-songwriter as well, and she is someone who was apparent. We never met formally, but I think I've heard one of her songs at one of the songwriting competitions for our European conferences. And yeah, I just, even if she wasn't around anymore, like her presence was just very felt among the community. She was someone who really inspired people, so much that it also inspired me to write this song about her. And going back to what you first said in the very beginning of our talk, about we have this talent, and I'm choosing to pursue it, because it's something I do not want to waste. And it kind of goes in that sense where you'll see in the lyrics as well. It's like, I'm given this chance today. I'm awake this morning. I woke up this morning. I'm here now. I'm here speaking with you. And why miss the chance to bless other people if you have this talent to share? And just, you never know what could happen tomorrow. So just take today as it is and do the best of what you could do today. So that's Dear Jesha.
Beautiful. Take it away.
Profile pictures in memory of you, holding in your hands a precious instrument. They can't believe it, oh, they didn't have a clue. Who'd have thought you were an angel that's heaven sent? Reminder of the reason why we serve, even though at times they could not understand. A great encourager when they did not have the nerve. Oh, you never failed to be a helping hand. Oh my, you left this world a bit too soon, and everyone was shocked to see you go. Oh dear, I am here just wondering what I should do if all of this won't last until tomorrow. You are someone I have never met, but you have inspired the worlds that you have left. And I know you had a dream that's similar to mine. the skies and watching over us. And every day we know you're always by our side. They surely miss you, but they do not need to fuss. You've lived a fruitful life and your love has never died. Oh my, my, you left this world a bit too soon, and everyone was shocked to see you go. And oh dear, I am here just wondering what I should do if all of this won't last until tomorrow. You are someone I have never met, but you have inspired the ones that you have left. And I know you had a dream that's similar to mine. You wanted to share your voice and sing your songs, but guess it wasn't meant. Oh, you are someone I have never met, but you have inspired the ones that you have left. And I know you had a dream similar to mine. You wanted to share your voice and sing your songs, but I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Clarene.
Yeah, thank you.
That was awesome. I like the use of a lot more of the bass notes, like you were talking about, the lower notes, really driving the song for that one. Beautiful. So you are currently now post college, and you mentioned you're a teacher, and also just continuing to, like you mentioned before, just find and say yes to any opportunities that come along as far as sharing music and continuing to pursue your sort of a calling towards a singer-songwriter. It reminds me of one more quote from Letter to Artists, and Pope John Paul II mentions that for artists with that vocation, they have to labor without allowing themselves to be driven by the search for empty glory or the craving for cheap popularity, and still less by the calculation of some possible profit for themselves. And so as you're pursuing singing and songwriting and sharing your music, what has been your motivation? What sort of drives you to continue to pursue it?
What drives me to continue to pursue it? I don't know. I think it's music is definitely a very powerful form of prayer for myself. Even if it's not with any words. Just, strumming the guitar has a very comforting effects. Just the vibration against your body, and then just, I don't know, just the sound of it, the feel of the strum, and it's just, I just really enjoy playing music, hearing music, attending music. I don't know, I've always found it so easy to just get along with musicians. You just understand each other. What drives me? The question is, what drives me to continue music, or what drives me to write?
Both, or just sort of I think also sharing. What drives you to continue to really share your music? Yeah,
that's true. I think music is a very powerful tool to get messages across, and using this way, this platform to touch people's lives, It's definitely a unique way, but I think it's also, it's what I try to write are melodies that just stick, like I try to write a hook so that, okay, honestly, for me also music, sometimes I don't really pay much attention to the lyrics unless they're really, they catch my attention, but generally it's more about the melody, and then eventually if it's a song that has a good hook, then I would like, okay, what's this song actually about? And then I look into it, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, why do I share? It definitely, music doesn't only bring happiness, but it also heals, and I believe that it has a very powerful way of comforting not only the one who plays, but also the one who hears and the one who just is there because to just receive, because I think healing is a lot of just receiving and just accepting and just being there. And then I think music incorporates a lot of that, just being there, listening, and being open to whatever God is trying to tell you. So if I can be if I can have that honor to be that, how do you say, the bridge to that, then let's keep on doing music. I mean, if it's something that can save lives, if it's something that can just bring a smile to just one person, I'll keep on doing that because it makes me happy. It makes other people happy. Even, I also have a very hugot song, which I'm not gonna play today. But it's also like people also connect to that and also find comfort even in the very sad songs because they can see that they're not alone. And there's a very vulnerable side of songwriting. And I actually was really afraid of sharing my songs in the beginning. Like I didn't even want to record my song or even write down my lyrics because I had songs that were very, very, very personal, and it's quite a scary thing, like if you're so vulnerable and just showing it out there. And that's why I just never wanted to do it, because I never wanted someone else to hear it or to see it or to read it or anything. So I was like, never ever ever am I gonna record. But then eventually when I started opening up and people were like, yeah, it's very good, and then people need to hear this because it has a very comforting, encouraging, inspiring, and healing side. So yeah, I think if I can do that. Yesterday another question was asked to me, what is vocation to you? And I simply just answered that to me the vocation is, if you don't know what your calling is yet, then listen out to the cry of the world, because your vocation is the crossroad between the cry of the world and your talent. So what you're good at. So use what you're good at doing in helping where others need the most.
Beautiful.
So start from there. Vocation.
That's so beautiful. Thanks, Clarene. I think you make it so simple. It sounds and feels simple when you share about it. I think especially
I'm a teacher. I'm supposed to simplify things that seem hard. I'm here for that. Teacher Clarene.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can feel that definitely. Yeah, I love just especially that last line that you shared, that just what is the cry of the world. And I mean, I remember you were sharing earlier about in college you were making fundraisers and using singing for that. And so I think that's a really beautiful, I think, a dimension of songwriting. Like you said, if I can just heal somebody or bring a smile to somebody. And so I think you really are living out this putting music at the service of their neighbor and humanity as a whole. Like you're really just motivated by being used by God to touch other people. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Music's just such incredibly powerful. So I'm like, wow, amaze me more.
Amen. Man, I would love to continue to hear more about your journey, but we are coming up on the end time here. What is the last song you have before we close?
My last song is actually my first ever song that I wrote on my own, which is called Wings Like Eagles.
What is Wings Like Eagles about?
Wow, I am not prepared for this question, but it's no, it's fine. It was based on this verse, I believe is in Isaiah. I don't have the specific Bible verse, but you can search it. It's something with about soaring with wings like eagles. Yeah, my first ever song that I wrote, and it was a time where there's just so much going on, and I just wanted to try to be where I was, and just surrendering it all to Him, to God, and placing my hope in Him alone.
Wow. And that's such a relevant prayer to write now, too, especially.
Definitely, yes.
All right. Well, before we end with your last song, I'll just do a closing prayer, but I wanted to thank you, Clarene.
No, thank you. Thank you.
It's really been awesome. Like you said, you're a teacher, and I think I have learned a lot from you in the way that you tell your stories and everything. But yeah, allow me to close in prayer, and we'll be praying for your journey as a singer-songwriter,
Thank you very much.
teacher, wherever it sends you, wherever home you end up finding home, hopefully in the U.S., so that we can meet. But yeah, thank you again, Clarene. Let's pray.
You.
In the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you so much, Lord, just for this entire musical journey that Clarene has been on, that she's just shared with us, at least given us a glimpse into. And Lord, for all of the things that she's learned about vulnerability and about growing in talents that she shared with us. We just pray, Lord, for the talents that you've given us, whatever they may be, singing, songwriting, other things, Lord. Give us the grace and the desire to grow in them and to pursue them and to learn from others the same way that Clarene has been so curious in her entire musical journey. And we just pray, Lord, as she sings this first song that you ever wrote through her, Lord, allow us to really take in this message of just finding hope in you, Father. Whatever we're feeling right now, wherever our long journey has taken us, especially in this time in the world, may we find our hope in you. May we place our trust in you, Lord. This we pray. Amen.
Speak to my overwhelmed heart. Fill me with your lasting peace. Let all my worries depart, for my faith has yet to increase. I place my hope in you, for you have greater things in store for me. Cause me to mount up with wings like eagles, with God by my side. I'll be like angels, flying high, reaching for heaven. Speak to my overwhelmed heart. Please guide me, Lord, I need you. I pray for strength. Please guide me, Lord, I need you. I pray for strength.